Have you ever thought about what would have happened if Levi actually injected the Titan serum into Erwin instead of Armin? Well, we have. And spoiler alert, the whole plot of Attack on Titan would be way different than it is now. I personally like the ending even more than the original, and by the end of the video, you might do as well. Before we begin, this video will be without any manga spoilers for the most part. When the spoilers begin, you'll get a fair warning. So, let's summarize the situation. Erwin is just a step away from dying after being brutally injured from the Beast Titan's lethal boulder throws. Armin, on the other hand, is just as far away from death as Erwin is, as he sacrificed himself in order to bring down Bertolt, and in the process, he became a burnt toaster. The result is that Levi is now presented with the opportunity to save one of the two, giving him the Colossal Titan abilities. Well, in this version of the story, Levi decides to save the life of Commander Erwin. Let's see how the story unfolds. Levi announces that he will inject the serum to Erwin. Just like in the original plot, he is attacked by Mikasa and Eren, who desperately wish to save their friend. However, they immediately get restrained by their fellow Survey Corps members, and Levi is then left alone to make his decision. As we know now, Armin was always meant to inherit the Colossal Titan in order to save humanity, but for the sake of this video, we will assume that Armin dies here and Captain Erwin is brought back, in addition to having the powers of the Colossal Titan. In order to understand the different choices Erwin would take, we must first analyze a little bit of the differences in Erwin's and Armin's characters. Armin is more compassionate and deals with inner conflicts about what is morally right and wrong, while Captain Erwin, on the other hand, is more decisive, calm under pressure, and understands the necessary evil that sometimes needs to be applied in order for their own people to survive. Captain Erwin is more physically gifted with better strength, stamina, and hand-to-hand combat skills. As let's not forget that if Erwin was brought back to life, that means that his severed arm would grow back up due to the Titan regeneration abilities. Both characters are highly intelligent, but Erwin is superior when it comes to combat intelligence. With that out of the way, let's get back to our story, shall we? As soon as Erwin is transformed into a Titan and eats Bertolt, Mikasa and Eren lose their cool as the realization that their friend can no longer be saved hits them. They start crying and they head to Armin's side, holding him in his final moments. As soon as the whole tension starts fading away and Armin is given a proper burial ceremony by his friends as a final goodbye, the first order of business is for Erwin's team to head to Eren's basement. Dramatic music starts playing as Erwin's childhood dream is now within grasp. He is just a few steps away from proving his father's theory. Erwin opens up the drawer and finds Grisha's book. He starts reading it and realizes that his whole life purpose of proving his father correct is now complete. But if you think that Erwin's journey has now finished, well, you'll be surprised with what's coming next. Fast forward a few months. In the original timeline, Eren decided to execute his plans of infiltrating Marley without telling anyone about it. That's because he knew that if he were to tell people what he was about to do, no one would help him, but rather they would get in the way and try to persuade him to stop. Hence, Eren went to Marley without bothering telling anyone about his plans. Well, the situation is now somewhat different as Erwin is alive. Hence, Eren decides to tell Erwin about his intentions of bringing war to Marley, hoping that he will agree to join him. However, Erwin, being a tactical mastermind, wants to wait for the right moment to attack and says to Eren that they should wait. But Eren is not someone that gets persuaded that easily. You thought that Eren was bloodthirsty before, right? Well, you're in for a treat, as Eren is now enraged due to his best friend's death. Even if some time has passed, the wound is still somewhat fresh, as out of all Eren's most important people, only one remains alive, and that is Mikasa. His mother was eaten by the Smiling Titan, he himself ate his own father, and now the one of his two closest friends is dead. Eren is about to go on a demon time. He's determined to do whatever it takes to protect Mikasa and the rest of Eldia. Therefore, shortly after Erwin denies his suggestion, Eren sneaks out of Eldia and infiltrates Marley as an injured soldier. Erwin and Eldia are forced to act and follow Eren's lead, as they cannot afford to lose both the attack and Founding Titan. While in Marley, Eren was able to communicate with Eldia with the help of the letters that Falco was mailing for him. Hence, Eren and the Survey Corps can coordinate a well-orchestrated attack. Although Erwin initially denied Eren's offer, since he is now part of the mission, there is no way he would not give his 100% in order to destroy Marley. When the situation demands it, Erwin can be ruthless. Therefore, Erwin is not only willing to help, but he actually decides to take the lead. Instead of Eren starting the fight alone, Erwin transforms first and blows up the port with the help of the Colossal Titan's explosive transformation. He then immediately heads to Eren's location. Marley does not know what hit them, and they have no chance of recovery. Eren was initially the only Titan in the battlefield, but now that Erwin is willing to help Eren obliterate Marley, the situation is different. Erwin and Eren destroy Marley and eat the remaining Titans besides Zeke, as according to the plan, he was supposed to help them execute the attack from within. Among the many casualties, Gabby and Falco die as well, and Marley is left in complete shambles. And do you know what that means? Sasha never dies, as Gabby does not turn into a commando to kill her. Eren eats both Lara Tiber to obtain the Warhammer Titan and Porco Galliard to obtain the Jaw Titan. Erwin eats Reiner to obtain the Armor Titan and Peak to obtain the Cart Titan. We know that Isayama's favorite character is Reiner, and he would not want him dead. But since we follow this path, we will assume that this is what indeed happens. When Commander Erwin eats Reiner, Reiner finally gets the rest he wished for. Rest in peace after everything he went through. Even though the warriors Marley sent to Eldia were only kids at the time, not knowing any better that the people they were sent to destroy were not really devils like they were told in Marley, Reiner still felt guilty for all the innocent lives he took. In his final moments, he apologizes to Commander Erwin for everything they did to Eldia. Eldians now have in their possession the attack, Founding, Warhammer, and Jaw Titan with Eren, and the Colossal, Armored, and Cart Titan within Erwin. Hence, Erwin becomes only the third known character controlling 3 or more Titan shifters at the same time after Ymir and Eren. The remaining 2 Titans are the Beast Titan, controlled by Zeke, which is now on Eldia's side, and the Female Titan, which is still trapped in Paradise. Eren and Zeke head back to Paradise, as the plan was a complete success. Dallas Zachary still has plans to feed Eren to another person due to Eren's disobedience when it comes to the Marley invasion. This time, however, Eldia has all the time in the world to decide what they want to do, since Marley has no chance of bringing the war back to Eldia. Eren shows to Eldia that even if they wanted to, they could not force him to do anything. And hence the plan to feed Eren to another candidate is discarded. Zeke spends a few days in the forest under Levi's attention. However, this time, since there are no hurries, Zeke does not turn Levi's men into mindless Titans. A few days have passed, and the decision is as following. Now that Eldia has won the war, all that is left is for them to make sure there are no more Eldians in Marley. Why, you may ask? That's because Paradise needs to be sure that they will remain in control of all 9 Titans, even after the current holders die. If they do not make sure there are no more Eldians in Marley, then there's a chance that some Titan shifters will fall back into the hands of Marley once more. You see, if a Titan dies without passing the shifter to another person, then the power will respawn into a random Eldian baby, including the Eldians that live in Marley. If all Eldians surrender and come to live in Paradise, then Eldia would promise not to hurt Marley. At least, that's what the people in charge had in mind, as we will show in a few. Eren and Zeke both have different plans. The plan that the people in charge had in mind went on to claim that now that Eren can activate the Founding Titan ability with the help of Zeke, he will be able to feel all Eldians across the entire world, and hence be able to see if everyone left Marley for good. But as we mentioned before, Zeke and Eren have their own plans. You see, Eren understands that, yes, this is the most ethical solution, but it does have many flaws. The Eldians that will come to live within Paradise might rebel sometime and decide to betray Eldia, as let's not forget, Eldia has just invaded their home and killed countless of their people. This is not something that they would gladly leave behind. Even if Eren manipulates their memories with the help of the Founding Titan, there is always a chance that the past memories will resurface again in some time with the help of someone not affected from Eren's Founding Titan abilities. Hence, the danger of a new war beginning anew is a very possible future outcome. Plus, if Eldia wants to be safe forever, then that means that the Titan shifters need to be passed down to future holders all the time, forcing children to eat their parents, and hence continuing this violent cycle of power. Eren does not want that for his people. He has his eyes on another goal, complete freedom. That's what he has always aimed for. But how will he achieve that? The answer is pretty simple. Remove the curse of Ymir from all Eldians, meaning that the power of the Titans needs to cease to exist. But if he does that, another problem comes in. Opposing nations might invade Eldia and destroy them, as Eldia no longer has the power of the Titans. Do you get where I'm going? Eren wants to rid the curse of Ymir from Eldians, but first, he will have to kill everyone else in the entire world. That's the only way for Eldia and its people to remain safe from outside threats for the rest of their lives. Zeke has the same plans he did in the original timeline, to euthanize the Eldians so they can no longer reproduce. Eren agrees in secret to execute Zeke's plan, but openly, he agrees with Eldia's plan. However, Eren will do neither of those. Eren's and Zeke's meeting to access the Founding Titan is smooth without anyone dying. Eren and Zeke witness the same events that we saw in the anime within Grisha's memories. Zeke tries to get a hold of the Founding Titan, but Eren succeeds instead. As soon as Eren is in charge of the Founding Titan, he starts the rumbling and head towards Marley and the rest of the world. His titans flatten the earth in their way. Before we proceed with the rest of the video, we should warn you about major manga spoilers. If you do not want to get spoiled, this is your warning. The Eldians want to stop him. However, this time, there are no titans to fight back besides Erwin and Annie. Erwin completely disagrees with Eren's plan and heads to stop him along with everyone else. The Jaegerists take Eren's side, similar to what happened in the original timeline. Through a series of events that happen similar to the original plot, Hanji Zoe unfortunately dies while fighting the Colossal Titans in this version of the story as well. This time around, the resistance Eren has is much less, as less Titan shifters exist. Erwin controls 3 Titans, but this is much weaker than having 3 individual Titans. Hence, Eren absolutely destroys the whole world besides Eldia. The final fight is Eren against Eldia, where Eren has now fulfilled his duty and he can now die in peace. Eren dies in the hands of Mikasa in order to give a final ending to the power of the Titans. Eren is considered a mass murderer, responsible for the genocide of 95% of the world. Eldians live their remaining lives in peace, but their lives are filled with the guilt that the rest of the world had to die in order for them to live. Eren is considered a horrible person, but at the same time, he is the hero that ensured the absolute peace within Eldia. A true, tragic hero.